Mamdani met with Donald Trump, and it was very unexpected. The outcome, I thought it was going to go poorly and that Trump was going to talk smack about him, but he came out the other side loving him.
Like loving him.
It's bizarre. And, it just kind of shows how easy it is to manipulate Donald Trump, right? And I'm not even saying he was manipulating him. Maybe he genuinely tried to find a connection. But the point is that Donald Trump will love anybody who is nice to him. And it's sad, honestly. You know those types of people who will just be obsessed with whoever just likes them a little bit. This is how the meeting went after Mamdani and Trump talked privately.
To Stephen Nelson, he asked about your comment calling the president a fascist. And your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes. Okay. Yeah. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
This dude literally was given a gotcha question by the media, trying to create division on the spot. And instead of embracing the division, Donald Trump helped Mamdani answer the question to everyone's satisfaction. What?
Trump not only said, yeah, he does, he said, I don't mind, and then patted him on the back. Trump doesn't mind being called a fascist. I guess, he is affirming that now, but also, he's clearly on Mamdani's side at this point.
That is wild. So I get to thinking to myself, what caused this? How did this happen? And I'm going through clips, and I think I know. I think I found an answer. This clip is very revealing. This is the key right here. You wonder what Mamdani said? What point of agreement he found with Trump? Listen.
Allow those police to be replaced with police officers, actual cops. And are you going to require that happens? Would there be some consequence?
Well, I hope.
The question is basically about Mamdani and the fears that he's going to get rid of half the NYPD because, right-wing nutcases believe that he wants to abolish the police incorrectly. Nobody ever said that. Everybody said defund the police because they want to replace some police officers for some situations with social workers. We don't need society's representation of force to show up to a school where a kid just told them that, they're being taken advantage of by their uncle or something. That's not what the representation of force is there for, right? Representation of force is there to arrest the dad or the uncle or whatever. A social worker should be there talking to the kid, not force. So in those types of situations, we would want to replace social workers with cops. That's the policy. But the right has been claiming that we want to replace everybody with social workers or just get rid of the police completely. It's just delusion. Anyway, that's the policy they're discussing here.
It happens, but again, that's going to be ultimately the mayor's decision.
Are you going to get rid of the police? That's going to be the mayor's decision. That is an incredibly bizarre thing to hear from Trump.
Is that I look forward to delivering public safety with the NYPD, and I've said over the course of our campaign that we have the number of police officers today. They are the ones that's budgeted about 35,000 headcount. And I think the key thing is that we have to make it easier for police to focus on police work, not ask them to respond to 200,000 mental health calls a year.
That's the point. They shouldn't be responding to mental health calls. That should be social workers, right? Why would the representation of force be responding to mental health calls? That's a progressive position that I hold.
Is that a reduction from what you're at right now? Are you committing to maintaining the same level?
I've committed over the course of the campaign to maintain the 35,000. That's the head count that we had through the campaign.
And not replace them with caseworkers, social workers.
No, I've said that's the head count that we want. What we need to do is make sure they can focus on serious crime.
And he just retained a great police commissioner, I believe, right?
Yes, we did, Commissioner.
If the newspapers are correct.
That one they're correct about.
That's it, right there. Did you catch that? That's what they bonded over. That is the common ground that they found with each other. One more time.
If the newspapers are correct.
That one they're correct about.
That one they're correct about. Mamdani went in there and told Trump, this is all fake news. I'm not a bad person. I'm a fantastic politician. I'm a really nice guy. And I really like what you've done with blah, blah, blah. Pick anything, any single thing. And I hate how the media is so dishonest. That's what he did. And that was that little thing, that right there, that was my tip off to this.
We did, Commissioner.
If the newspapers are correct.
That one they're correct about.
He he retained, I think, somebody that is she's a good friend of some of the people in my family, of Ivanka, and they say she's really good, really competent, and he just retained her, so that's a good sign.
Anyway, I found that fascinating. Now we know. I wondered, like, what did he do? What did he go in there and sit down and say to Donald Trump? I think that was their point of agreement. This guy is so skilled, right? He's so skilled at what he does, at bringing people over to his side, at getting people's guards down, at working with them, building bridges. He is an expert at that. And he's definitely the head of the Democratic Party. I'm sad he can't be president, because he wasn't born here, but he is very impressive.
If the newspapers are
So
Right there. These are eyes of adoration.
look at how Trump is staring at Mamdani. And in a second, I was going to pause again. Wait. So Mamdani like nods his head and he turns away. And Trump was just staring at him. Mamdani? Wait.
he retained, I
Here, I'll scan through slowly. He's smiling at him,
Okay. Wait.
nods.
Yeah, right there. Wait. Forwards more. Right there. Trump is smiling and talking and laughing. Mamdani is straight-faced. Mind you, Mamdani has never been straight-faced throughout his entire campaign. The entire campaign has been built around him smiling, being happy, being caring, and, empathetic. This entire meeting, he was like, he looked so much more uncomfortable than we've seen him. He had a completely straight face. He was not as happy as usual. Meanwhile, Trump has been smiling nonstop, staring at him and, everything else. I think that that's really funny.
I'm telling you, Trump is very simple. At the end of the day, all you need to do is tell him that you like him, and he is all in.
I think that Trump has a
In
crush.
fact, he's not just all in. He's even willing to go so far as to start dressing like him.
I think it looks really bad on Trump because of the turtleneck. The turtleneck does not work on him.
This is recent for Donald Trump. And Mamdani was just like a month ago or something. Same exact outfit. That's interesting, right? I find that very interesting.
He had one meeting with Mamdani, and now, look, he doesn't even have his orange makeup on. He's dressing nicely. He's dressing the exact same as Mamdani, granted, but he's dressing nice.
Exact same shirt, exact same color, exact same blazer.
And he was respectful to people for once. So I think that Mamdani, whatever Mamdani did, was really, really good in the end.
Honestly, and think about it, like Andrew Cuomo, said that you need to vote for him because he knows how to work with Donald Trump. That is fascinating,
Someone
right?
said hair is going to be dyed black next news cycle. He's going to have a mustache.
Oh, I want to see it so badly. Imagine Trump's mustache. It looks so stupid.
I really want I need someone to edit Trump to look like Mamdani. Instead of the orange makeup, he's going to slowly get more tan.
By the way, guys, check out my new shop, owenmorgan.com/shop. I have a bunch of really cool designs on there.
So face blending has been around for many years, since I was in college, I think. And this is probably the most famous one that I remember. Hillary Clinton face blended with Kim Jong-un. This is great. And now I've got a new one that I just created on some face blending website. What's his name? Trump Donnie. Or, God, I don't know, Donald Mamdani. So help me out here
Trump
in the comments.
Donnie, Zodon.
Yes, Zodon Trump Donnie.
Zodon
Trump Donnie. I mean, it's not ideal, but there you go. This is what Trump would look like if he tried to look a little bit more like Mamdani. Anyway, so like I was saying, he's been coming at Mamdani hard until they kind of came together and it's now they're best friends or whatever. It's finally happened. The Democrats have crossed the line. Zoran Mamdani, a 100% communist lunatic. He's just won the Dem primary on his way to becoming mayor. We've had radical lefties before, but this is getting a little ridiculous. He looks terrible. His voice is grating. He's not very smart. He's got AOC +3. I'm sorry, he's got AOC +3. I don't know what that means. Dummies all backing him, and even our great Palestinian senator, crying Chuck Schumer, is groveling over him. Yes, this is a big moment in the history of our country. Here's another. The more people learn about Mamdani, the less they like him. And any Jewish person that votes for Zoran Mamdani, a proven self-professed Jew hater, is a stupid person. And now they're in love with each other. This is wild, right? Trump posted this collage of himself and Mamdani in front of FDR, apparently, and standing looking out over a meadow or something. So sweet.
I like that Trump posted just a picture of Mamdani on his Truth Social. This feels like a hard launch. This feels like a hard launch picture. You know, it's him and his boyfriend, them looking out across the meadow, and then just a picture of his boyfriend alone.
So stupid.
This is really one-sided. Look at this. He's like holding on to him, like,
It's sweet, really, honestly.
Trump finally found love, but the person doesn't love him back.
Anyway, well, we don't know that. No.
That's true, we don't.
Anyway, just listen to this one.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no, I care very deeply about Jewish safety, and I look forward to rooting out anti-Semitism across the 5 boroughs and protecting Jewish New Yorkers and every New Yorker who calls the city home.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, he whispers.
So after the meeting with Donald Trump, Mamdani does an interview on Meet the Press, and this woman on the right here is kind of considered a legitimate reporter, but she's kind of a scumbag, honestly, from what I've seen. Last time she interviewed him, she said, "Why won't you condemn the phrase globalize the intifada?" He never said that. Those words never crossed his lips. That was completely fabricated out of the ether. Why are you asking him to condemn something that he never said? That he even said, "I do not support that. I do not believe in that." Why do they keep coming back to it? It's purely propaganda. That's what it's about. And she fed into it, and that bothers me deeply. But anyway, listen to what happened on their interview here. She tries to create more division by leaning into trying to get him to turn on Trump and trying to get Trump to turn on him and everything else.
NYPD would be the ones to do so.
In that press conference with President Trump, a reporter asked you whether you believe that President Trump is in fact a fascist, a word that you've used in the past. You were about to answer, then President Trump sort of jumped in and he said, quote, "That's okay, you can just say yes. It's easier than explaining it." So, Mr. Mayor-elect, just to be very clear, do you think that President Trump is a fascist?
And after
I'm sorry, why is she even asking this? Obviously he does, but okay.
But outside of that, look at how he's smiling. You see him smiling? This is after he's not alone with Trump anymore. He's not alone with Trump anymore. He's smiling so wide. Compare that to what we saw a minute ago. He was so straight-faced. He was not happy to be there.
Jesus Christ, a cat just jumped up here and failed to jump successfully.
But she's so cute.
And then dug her claws into the arm of the chair and clawed her way up the chair, destroying it in the process.
That sounds like your fault.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, keep listening here.
And after President Trump said that, I said yes. And
So you do.
And that's something that I've said in the past. I say it today. And I think what I appreciated about the conversation that I had with the president was that we were not shy about the places of disagreement, about the politics that has brought us to this moment. And we also wanted to focus on what it could look like to deliver on a shared analysis of an affordability crisis for New Yorkers.
You've also said in the past that President Trump has engaged in a, quote, attack on our democracy. You've called him a despot. Do you still believe President Trump is a threat to the democracy?
He absolutely is, obviously.
Everything that I've said in the past, I continue to believe. And that's the thing that I think is important in our politics, is that we don't shy away from where we have disagreements, but we understand what it is that brings us to that table. Because I'm not coming into the Oval Office to make a point or make a stand. I'm coming in there to deliver for New Yorkers. And a few weeks ago, I was asked by a reporter 3 words to describe myself. I said, New York City. And that's what animated that conversation. How do we deliver for the people of New York City?
I think it was really interesting when he was in his debate up there and he was debating with 3 people and I think, or 2 others maybe.
Yeah, 2 others.
And they all were all asked, where is the first place you would visit when you become mayor? And Andrew Cuomo said, I would visit Israel first. And I think, Sliwa also said, I would visit Israel. And Mamdani said, I'm happy here. I'm here to help New Yorkers. I wouldn't be going to Israel. Why would I do that when I'm not serving them?
Israel's not involved in the politics of New York City at all. And
shouldn't be.
New York City politicians aren't involved in Israel at all. It's any involvement that the United States has in Israel is from Trump, from the executive, the judicial, and
legislative.
Yeah, the legislative branch.
But
none of it is New York based, and therefore there's no reason for them to be going to Israel.
There are a lot of Jewish people in New York City. It's like 50% Jewish or whatever, but that doesn't mean Israeli. That means Jewish. And there's in World War II, they tried to turn it into a race when it's not. Race isn't even real in the first place. It's fictitious completely. There are ethnicities, but Ashkenazi Jewish and Mizrahi Jewish are ethnicities that are completely different from each other. Like, I have more in common with an Ashkenazi Jewish person than an Ashkenazi person has in common with a Mizrahi person. It's a religion, not a race. And the idea that we should care about Israel if we are like New York City politicians is absurd. We should care about Jewish people as an ethnic group, as a minority group. We should not care about Israel at all. Eric Adams, on his way out the door, I wish I had this video. I don't think I have it.
Even with a lot of Jewish people in New York City,
Found it. Go on.
Judaism could be a race, but even then, we shouldn't be focusing on what's going on outside of the United States, outside of New York City. Focus on all of the hate and backlash and hate crimes that have been happening against Jewish people in New York City. I had friends in New York when the war first started who were terrified to walk out of their house. They were scared to go to school because of everything going on. Focus on that. Don't go to a different country when you're supposed to be leading a city.
Sign up for my Patreon. I'd really appreciate that very much. It would mean so much to me. This is like a really precarious moment in history, in U.S. history, and for me personally. So it would mean a lot if you sign up for my Patreon. Check out cultarchive.org. I did a cult test, basically, where you can see if you're in a cult. And you can look at the historical tests of other groups that already went through this. Also, check out my merch. I have a whole bunch of really cool shirts and stuff. Really interesting. I would really appreciate that. Right. And here's Eric Adams, who the current mayor for another like month or two, who went to Israel just the other day. This is recent. He went to Israel to show his support. Listen to what he said.
My male team here in Israel, and as I finished, I wanted to come back here to Israel and let you know that I serve you as the mayor.
I served you. I mean, imagine a politician going to Russia, to the Kremlin, and standing there and saying, I want you to know I served you, Russia, as the mayor of New York City. Really think about that for a second. What an absolutely wild thing for the mayor of New York City to say.
Eric Adams went to my high school when I was still in New York. And when our assembly ended, first of all, people left early because the assembly went on way longer than our school's time lets out. Second, when the assembly ended, every single conversation I heard around me was how much they hate Eric Adams and how they did not want him there.
He ran as a Democrat, but he's not at all. He's a Christian nationalist and a right-wing extremist. The only reason he ran as a Democrat is because that's the only way he could have won. He's a disgusting human being. Seriously, Eric Adams is absolutely awful.
As the mayor, but I want to continue to have the title that's more important to me than anything. I'm your brother. Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, yeah. It's so confusing to me why a mayor of New York City would consider himself a servant of Israel. Like, what a thing to say. Anyway, let's finish up this interview after he left Trump's office.
I think that some of your supporters would be curious to know, you say you stand by your past statements that, yes, he's a threat to the democracy. How do you square working with someone who you still think is a threat to the democracy?
I believe it's a phenomenally good thing. You should absolutely be able to work with everybody, every single person, and political ideology getting in the way of working with somebody is not productive or conducive to a democracy, right?
I think working for the people of New York City demands that you work with everyone and anyone, and that you always look to find those areas of agreement while not overlooking the places of disagreement. And I think this was something that came up in our meeting. We spoke about immigration. We spoke about the fact that in New York City, we have sanctuary city policies that allow for the city to work with the federal government on around 170 serious crimes. The concern for so many New Yorkers comes about anything beyond that. And I spoke about the importance of us being able to protect New Yorkers, and some of the incidents that we see, they do not do that.
So anyway, I just like this guy a lot. Like, I feel like he's very capable, and honestly, like, I don't know, he's just very impressive, very charming, very impressive, very good at what he does, and I have high hopes for him And I have high hopes for the fact that he is the face of the Democratic Party right now. Gavin Newsom was the face, and it is in large part, and probably will run for president. Mamdani can't, of course. There are some other faces of the Democratic Party, but Mamdani is at the top of his game and untouchable, and it's really impressive.
He's also very attractive, which does genuinely help.
Pretty privilege, yeah.
Yeah, people are more likely to vote for someone, and this was the case. I don't remember which presidential race it was, but this was the case at some point.
JFK.
Yeah,
probably.
JFK versus who?
He was running against Nixon, I think.
People are far more likely to vote for someone they deem more attractive, and we've seen that in the past with, I think,
I'm sorry.
Lyndon B. Johnson?
No, Lyndon B. Johnson was his VP. He
Yeah.
did run against Richard Nixon. And his running mate, LBJ, narrowly defeated the Republican ticket of Richard Nixon. Yes, that was correct.
And this happened because people were showing that they were going to vote for Nixon all the way up until they saw each of the candidates on live TV. And when they saw each of the candidates on live TV, they changed their votes.
I remember that, yeah. And also, this is when Fox News really started. Well, Sheldon Adelson, I believe, who started Fox News. It was either him or Roger Ailes. One of the two started it. I think Adelson. And Nixon was disgruntled at television and said it's stupid and it's a fad and it's going to go away. And the other guy, whoever started Fox News, was like, no, this is the future. This is how we're going to take everything over. And he started Fox News, and it was all over from there. Reagan got rid of the fairness doctrine, which meant you didn't have to give equal time to different candidates. Now you can talk positively about either candidate as much as you want. You can lie as much as you want, and you're completely untouchable. And that just destroyed our democracy completely. Like, nearly every bad thing that exists as a policy in this country can be traced back to Reagan. He really made a mess of everything. Anyway, I'm so glad to see that we have a really good head of the Democratic Party, and I'm excited to see where the dude goes from here. Tell me what you think in the comments.